Wonderful. How are you?
Very good.
Very good. Rune, can I get your Calendly, please?
My Calendly,
Yes.
uh, yeah. How do I share that?
Just copy and paste the link, put it in the chat.
Okay.
And your niche is real estate?
Yes.
Cool. Wonderful. Ooh, that's nice. Very good. Basically, we're slowly but surely, we're going to start booking in. We've already started. We're just like slowly releasing it to everybody, where we're booking in sales calls for you guys to take.
Okay. I
Yeah.
booked 3 sales calls today,
Huh?
with cold calling.
All we need is another 38 in one day, and then I'll be impressed.
Okay.
Which script is working better for you between the two?
I haven't tried the second one. Over the second, I have only tried for like 20, but the one you gave me, the one in the onboarding, works pretty good if I
Oh,
just book two.
ours is better than the Shield guy.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, but remember, we scam. Okay, cool. So now, Dio, you had that fun session. We're repeating the session, right? So, Ryan, nice and simple. Can you open up your discovery questions that you have for the agents?
I don't I haven't made something about sales, like I
Don't
need to do
worry,
that. So
you didn't make it. That would imply that we trust you to make it. We've made it for you. Do you have access to it?
where do I have access to it? Where do I
So
find it?
um, I'm actually not sure. I just would have shared it with you, but I'm just going to give you this one here. Make a copy of this one. Oh, we got Felix. He's back from his fucking tour, whatever fucking tour he was on. Felix,
Okay.
Hello,
hi. How are you, Felix?
I'm super fine. How are you?
Very good. So what tour were you on? What is this tour thing? Are you Ed Sheeran?
What? What
What?
tour?
Yeah, yeah.
A
You
tour.
you said you were on a tour last week.
A tour? No,
You
I
told
was just traveling. I told you I'm busy.
I'm super busy and on tour this week.
Yeah. I was giving concerts. No, I'm kidding. I was traveling. I was doing a
Oh,
road trip.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Felix, can you open up your discovery questions?
No. Ah, okay.
Wonderful. So, guys, there's going to be a slight difference to the structure of my calls. Monday, we're going to be focusing on discovery. Tuesday is negative rapport. Wednesday is presentation. Thursday is objection handling. So, in one week, rinse and repeat, we go through the whole call or all the stages of the call. Make sense? Wonderful. So, when
Mhm.
both of you guys have your discovery questions open, let me know. Mm.
Yeah.
You have it? Cool. So, Felix, what is the second question on your discovery list?
Who's your audience?
Where the fuck did you get your discovery questions from?
From my mind.
Okie dokie. Let me share with you your discovery questions that were made for you. We have discovery questions for you. 1 second. Oh, perfect. Cool. So, Felix, can you review these and Tell me which one you prefer, this one or the one that you have made from your mind. Cool. Now let's go with Rune. Why the fuck have you changed your name to Ryan?
Like, because everyone was asking who when I was cold calling them. So Ernest said like I should change my name to something more American.
Okay, fine.
That's why.
Fine. So Ryan. Yeah, it's so confusing when you guys fucking change your names. Ryan, what do you have for your second question?
Now every realtor must
Okay, perfect,
navigate.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. So I've edited that. It was typically, so the typical question or the standardized question, right? I'll share my screen over here, which is what Felix has. Yes, over here. Which lead generation sources have you utilized in the past? Right? This is now being changed, or what I have put down is this one here. Do you see the difference in the level of question?
What have you been doing?
You
Yeah.
show more knowledge about the niche, like you
Yes.
really understand them.
Yes. Right? So when it comes to all the yellow sections here, right? What we're doing is we are adding niche knowledge to make ourselves come across as more competent. The good thing is we can fucking Google all of it and just memorize it. We don't actually have to like know anything. Yes. But just by the two differences, right? What lead generation sources have you utilized in the past? Versus now, every agent has to navigate through the diverse landscape of lead generation strategies, and they need to make sure that they get it right. With so many options, look, you've got Zillow, which is utilized by 2/3 of agents. You've got Google Ads, one of the most prominent places when it comes to searching for real estate. And then we've got a bunch of agents who rely on just referrals. As a fact, what was it? 25% of agents get over 50% of their business just from referrals. And now we've got 1,000 more options out there. What I'd like to know is what specific approaches have you implemented to enhance your lead generation in your business to grow? Right? Do you guys see the difference between the two versions of me asking that? Right? And considering the fact that it is the second question that you're asking, how much greater is the frame that you're coming across in? And another thing is this acts as negative rapport. Now, Ryan, why would this act as negative rapport?
I don't know.
Felix, why does this act as negative rapport?
Because probably they will answer they didn't do anything.
Also, it makes them feel stupid. Right? On the basis they haven't done anything, wonderful. Just a fucking negative report.com. And then the second thing is, how do you know all of this information and they don't know this information? Right? And I've just put a few examples here. But now the key thing is you can change this 1,000 different ways, getting data from 1,000 different sources and perform wonderfully with it. Right? So, Felix, your first question, your first tasks, Felix, is over here. I want you to change all of these, adding specific niche knowledge. As an example, what is the average treatment value? So rather than saying what is the average treatment value, I want you to say, look, in your average med spa or in your average salon or for your hair salon, wherever it's going to be, right? We've got different treatments from treatment A, B, C, D. The price is that what we're looking at with our clients, this price for this price for this price for that. That being said, what is your average treatment value? Make sense, Felix? Right? And now, Ryan, I want you to do the same thing when it comes to average listing price. Dio, I want you to now shit on both of them with the answer on number 8. Right? Cool. Okay. Anyone have any questions? No. Cool. Please get started. Grand Buffet, how are you?
Keeping well in yourself.
Good. How's the ghetto?
Black as ever on that side. How's transfer life?
It's nice. It's nice. Can't complain.
Are
Yeah,
you eating chicken, upholding your roots?
yeah, 50% of them. I'm trying to
No,
work on the lower half Africanness. It's really been letting me down, and the people around me that I know. So I've been decided to eat chicken, helping to activate. Mm. JB, do you have your discovery questions?
no, I do not.
Okay, remind me your niche.
Real estate.
Okay, perfect. So basically, make a copy of this file here that I'm putting on the chat, and anything that is yellow, buff it out with niche knowledge so you can flex on your prospects. When you're done, let me know. Felix, how are we looking?
Huh?
How are we looking?
I'm looking amazing. Why?
Not literally how are you looking, how is the work coming across?
Good.
So which ones have you completed, Felix?
What?
Which ones have you completed?
The questions.
Yes.
Uh, I honestly thought that only the JB is gonna do that, so I was reading something. Sorry.
Felix, I need you to develop the question. Yeah. Felix, please work on the questions.
So put my niche knowledge in.
Yes.
Okay.
Felix, does it sound like me to ask one person a question and then wait in silence with everybody else?
No.
Okay. Please, Felix, work on, make a copy, please work on them, okay? Develop all of these. Okay, Ryan, what have you got?
Yes. Second, for example, number 8, what is your average listing price? I've made now. This area is well known for its high listing prices, right? And more expensive houses in comparison with other areas in the country. We have seen realtors with with an average listing price of 700K in this area, but we have also seen realtors with more listing. Okay, my sentence is wrong, but an average listing of 400K. Now, what do you average?
Okay, cool. Dio, what do you have for that question?
What was the question again?
Number 8.
Number 8. I haven't made any changes to what you said, but we have a couple clients in the Lakewood area. On average, the listing price is right around 1.2 million. Would you say that is accurate for yourself?
Okay, oh shit. So, Ryan, Dio, wait, JB, have you done number 8?
No, I haven't done number 8 yet.
Okay. This is what Alex, I'll catch up in a second. This is what I would put for number 8. So I'm curious to what your average listing price is. Now, obviously, looking at the Lakewood area, we've got an average of 750. But now, with our clients that are in the area, we've got some clients who specialize in the neighborhood ABC, where we're seeing an increase from the average listing price on the transactions at about 900 to 1.1 million because of these neighborhoods. And then on the other side, we've got some other clients who are in lower level areas, and I'd name those areas where we're looking at a listing price of 400,000. So could you let me know what are the average, what are the neighborhoods that you're typically transacting in, and what is the average listing prices that you are seeing? Right? Alex, what we're doing is we're going over the discovery questions. So do you have your discovery questions?
You have a template sort of, but I usually just go like
Okay, can you share your template with me? I just want to review it. Okay,
one
Ryan,
sec.
Dio, buff up everything. Yes, everything that I've done, buff it up. And Graham Buffet, let me know when you've done question 11.
Ishmael, just to confirm, am I doing my discovery questions or for real estate?
Okay, fine. Change these. Make it for your niche.
Yeah, sure.
Make it for your niche.
Yeah,
And
it's the thing that I'm asking for a lot of data. Like most of the questions are purely inquiring for data from, the agency owner. So
honestly, you can make
yeah,
up your day.
sure.
But let's see what you come up with. So let's look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, I'm gonna give you a template for another niche. Let me just pick a Alex, remind me your niche.
Financial planners,
Plumbers, yes? No,
financial planners, advisors.
I don't know why I heard plumbers. Give me 1 second. Cool. Can you? Okay, perfect. Can you review these? I'm going to share the link with you and see which ones you would potentially add onto your question, onto your discovery. And once you're done, let me know.
No problem. But I don't really use it, like I rarely stick to it. It's more for inspiration. It depends
That's
on the
fine. So, Alex, more specifically, what we're doing on this call is we're adding niche knowledge to relevant questions to come across as an expert, right? So, in regards to
Mhm.
financial planners, let's say we're looking at financial planners in Calgary, Canada, right? What data can we use about their market and their industry in our questions? All right.
So I need to add something specific to the niche to each question, something like
Yes.
this.
No, you don't want it to each question, you want it to specific questions. So if you share your screen, I'll be able to give you an idea.
Yeah, 1 sec.
No, go to your questions.
Mhm.
So So as an example, we've got options on what tools do you use to stay in touch with the clients, but I don't really like that one in terms of niche knowledge. Okay, so on number 5A, right, we can use data on what the main platforms are for, or what the main strategies that are used for client acquisition and the data from those platforms, different methods to increase credibility and trustworthiness that other financial advisors are utilizing, and we can use those as example points. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The thing is with them, maybe 95% of them just use referrals and networking events, stuff like this. I try to use that usually when I talk. I say, oh, do you do anything differently, or do you also just based on referrals? But is that not good enough? I need some actual data.
Well, if you're able to utilize, so let's say 75% of them only use referrals, right? There's a high chance that the top performers in the space do more than just referrals. Yes?
Mhm.
Right? So what we want to do is we want to bring up the other methods of acquisition that other people are using or other advisors are using, pull up the data from that, and then ask them the question, so what platforms and strategies are you using? And how effective have you found them? Right? On the
Okay.
base that they're just using referrals, it's going to make them feel like shit. Right? And at the same time, you pull up the data on the conversion rates, the average cost, so on and so forth. You come across as an expert. Felix, I take it by your yawn. You've used all the brain power and require more oxygen to your brain. So let's see what your brain power has produced. What have you done for question number 2?
Um,
Is not a word.
Question number 2, I've wrote down, have you already been using any strategies to get new high quality clients that bring you the real money, like extensions or balayage, or or you're not thinking about anything like that and just getting the bad ones like man haircuts?
Okay, but then not why not reference what percentage of hair salons are using Google as an advertising platform and what they generate for that, and then also using Facebook, the data on Facebook and data off of Facebook and the conversion rates off of Facebook, and then also referencing email lists and referral plans as different methods of acquisition. And based on the data that you've provided, or not even based on the data, to use as a comparative, what do they have or what are they doing? Right? So translating that into more simple, in that question, we need to tell them how many businesses are using Google, how many businesses are using Facebook, how many people or businesses have incentive referrals to generate more business. We're going to highlight all these facts, tell them that we know them, and then ask them, and what are they doing? What do you have for number 9?
One second. Um, the average long-term
Lifetime value.
the lifetime um I'm having is your strategy like if the strategy attracts lifetime clients or they're working more with walk-in clients? So
So we need to use niche knowledge. So for this question, you need to find out what is the average lifetime value of someone that comes to a salon. All right. We need to then mention that as a lifetime value and then ask them what their lifetime value is.
but how do I know?
Google AI bots. So I can check this for you now. All right. So okay, it's checking now. So over here, look at this data. Felix,
Where?
on my screen.
Ah,
This information here to come across as very smart on the call.
mhm.
Do you want me to help you formulate an answer or a question?
Yes.
Second. So booking a seminar appointment. This is uh, 100. Yeah, so so Okay, have you seen what I've put?
Yes.
Do you see the difference in what that does?
Yes.
So now with our clients, we're seeing about 70% of the first-time visitors are booking in for a second appointment. And the average cost per service is 100 euros. With customers making about 8 visits per year, we're seeing an average lifetime value of 2,250. Now that's including services and products that get bought. Can you give me a breakdown of what you're seeing in regards to your average lifetime value? Right? Now, Felix, what in your head, how would they see you differently with you asking a question like that?
That I know what I'm doing, that I already have done something, and that I have proof,
Yes.
and that
Fundamentally,
the money is worth it.
yes. Okay, very good. Much better questioning. Okay, so Felix, I want you to do the same thing with, let's see. Okay, impress me with question number 12. Show me what you can do with question number 12. And my recommendation is add in a factor of what salons do correctly and what they do incorrectly, which results in an increase in return for additional treatments versus a decrease. Okay, Ryan, give me one of your improvements.
Yes, okay. For example, number 11, how many of your customers return for a second transaction? Most realtors spend all their time chasing new leads, but here's the uncomfortable truth. Repeat business and referrals from past clients should make up at least 30 to 40% of your annual closings. The top agents know this and have a system in place to stay in front of past clients through automated follow-ups, targeted social media content, and retargeting ads. But here's what we see with struggling agents. They close a deal, move on, and never reconnect. Meanwhile, their past clients who already trust them end up working with another agent. When they buy or sell again, they just because they forgot who helped them the last time. The best in the game build lifetime clients, not one-time transactions. So let me ask you, how many of your past clients have come back for a second transaction? Now, this is also with ChatGPT help.
Yeah. The one thing is, it's way too many words. And the other issue with that one is it is very specific. If you're dealing with a retard who doesn't have any system, because you know this, because they haven't closed any fucking deals, right? That question doesn't necessarily apply. So that question is given for a specific type of audience. So we want to look at how can we make that question applicable to everybody. I also think you overspeak too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So do this, copy and paste the one that you've given. I'm going to give a prompt to shorten it and make it more applicable. So just copy and paste it and put it into the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex, what have you got?
So I'm still scraping data. For example, I got that
Yeah.
only 23% of all advisors have a defined marketing strategy. That 68% of all the leads that they generate come from LinkedIn. Use platforms like Smart Asset to connect people with people of high intent. So I think I could use this to ask them exactly what they do.
Okay.
Something along the lines of this and this and this. What do you use? Do you also use LinkedIn?
Alex, can we figure out what this and this and this means?
So you want me to
Yeah,
let me just put
please.
put
Let
the
me know
sentence
when.
together.
Yeah. And Ryan, just copy and paste that. JB, what do you got?
Oh,
So similar question 11, I would try and go along the lines of amongst our clients, we found that on average, 15 to 22% of their business comes from repeat business, and pushing on the high end, some of them go up to 30, 40%. And that's mainly due to having, touching back with their past clients, whether it be through personalized newsletters or client only specific detail information. I would like to find out from you, do you stay in touch with your past clients, or do you have any systems for that in place?
Okay, very nice. The adjustments that I would make, now obviously the speaking needs to be adjusted, but that's fine. But literally to what you've done, I would I would say I would bring up two data points. I would bring up what the market sees, and then I would then say, now we've seen very similar results. So let's say that the market sees a 15% increase, those that do it.
Yeah.
Right? When we've implemented this with clients who don't have these systems in place, we've seen an increase of 10% of what they're getting. Right? So we'll get what 1 to 5 more deals per year per client where this is now implemented. Based on that, I'd like to know how many of your customers are returning for a second transaction and what do you have in place to facilitate that?
Okay.
Right? And now with this question, if they ask, why are you asking me this? Simple. When I bring you 10 customers, I want to know how many of them are going to come back to you again. Because what that literally means, I'm doubling how much my worth is to you when I bring you customers.
Okay.
Yeah. Dio, I'm going to ask you in a second. Let me just do this one thing for Ryan. So here, Ryan, here you go. So Ryan, boom. Okay, Dio, tell me what you got.
Yeah, so original question was, could you please describe your current process for booking and sales calls? And then I said, in my experience, agency owners usually go for paid ads, cold calling, or cold DMs when discussing lead gen. Does this sound about right?
You don't want to discuss the difference in conversion rates between the different methods?
Well, yeah, I should have touched on conversion rates.
Yeah. Also, how much time versus money, depending on what businesses, and also, not in your experience and your research, what you've seen with the bulk of your clients before they come to work with you. These types of clients go for this with these conversion rates. However, other clients are unable to do that due to budgets, and I'm typically seeing that they're doing this and this, and these are the problems and the benefits. Now, I'm curious,
Yeah.
what have you been doing?
Just-
Like you want to flex all the different ways and the data points from all of these different ways. And you also want to be talking about show up rates, so on and so forth. Right? The more
Yeah.
you can flex, the better. Felix, what do you have?
Yeah.
Tell me.
1 second.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Okay. So I have so we all know not everything goes right in a hairdresser salon. Sometimes the hairdresser has different taste than the client, or the client didn't communicate their needs right, so the client is not happy at the end. Still, there's different ways of handling situations like that, and some hairdressers can turn those situations even in chances to impress more and get clients that trust for life. Are you one of those? So how many clients usually return to your salon?
My only issue with that is you have made it very specific to when they fuck up,
Yeah.
right? But then we also want to be discussing, like, we want it to be a bit more vague. So, some hair salons, when they fuck up, they're able to make twists and turns in order to make sure that that customer trusts them and everything gets fixed, making them people for life or customers for life. Others are able to offer incentives depending on how many times people come to the salon. Other people are able to send SMS campaigns, have SMS campaigns and reminders for Valentine's Day, anniversaries, birthdays, so on and so forth, depending on their clientele, in order to maximize how many customers come back. I'm curious, what are you doing to maximize the retention rate with your clientele? Right? Or more specifically, when I bring you customers, what are you going to do to make sure that they come as many times as they can throughout the whole year?
Mhm.
Wonderful. Alex, are you ready?
So, what I've seen in the industry is that roughly 20% of all advisors actually have a defined marketing strategy. All the rest tend to get leads 60 to 70% out of LinkedIn. Some use Facebook, some use platforms like Smart Asset. I'm curious as to what exactly are you using and how that's working for you.
Wonderful. The main thing that I would change there, because you're limited on what you can and can't do, is I would definitely change the sentence. My clients, before they come to work with me, what I've seen is 20% of them have a structure, right? Then you use the other percentages, and I would also then bring up the not the how much they make per customer, right? So 70% business coming from LinkedIn, average value of one customer from LinkedIn is XYZ.
See, that would vary depending on who I'm talking to because it depends on their
No, but then
assets.
I don't think that matters, because then what you can do is you can just make you can reference the different types of financial planners that you work with. So we've got some guys who do this type of financial planning where we're looking at average when one customer is acquired, they're making XYZ, but then on the other side, we've got some customers who are on the lower end. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you said
Cool.
my clients, when they come to me, only 20% of them have a marketing structure. And then I tell them that those that do generate around 60% of their leads from LinkedIn,
Yes.
Facebook.
Right.
Those that make more generate XYZ mostly
Yeah.
per client, and those that do less. Yeah.
But then you want to say, as an example, we work with some financial planners who are in this type of financial planners where your prospect will understand what you're talking about and you reference how much a deal is worth to them. And then on the other end, the lower end, does this make sense?
Yeah.
So tell me what you've got there, and then let's see. JB, give me an improvement.
Anyone who is specific.
No, not a fucking improvement on anyone. Like, well, tell me one that you've improved and let's go through it.
I'm gonna go with number 3. Approximately how many deals, both cold and hot, do you engage with monthly? So we found that from our clients, the ones with a well-optimized CRM and a proper follow-up sequence tend to have a 4 to 5 times, maybe 6 times higher a higher conversion rate.
Yeah.
That was decent. Conversion, and within the industry, the lead to close rate.
No, the only reason this doesn't work is most brokerages provide the agents with a CRM, functional, like very functional CRM. And also, number 3 isn't a highlighted question, so niche knowledge doesn't apply. Also, you're not utilizing niche knowledge, you're just telling them about a CRM. Okay. Ryan, what have you got?
Okay, for number 9,
Yep.
in real estate, the top 20% of agents consistently secure 80% of the deals. Why? They aren't just relying on referrals, they're everywhere online. In neighborhood X, for example, the dominant agents are impossible to ignore. They show up on Google, YouTube ads, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They don't wait for clients to come to them. They stay top of mind and they create demand. On the other hand, many realtors still depend entirely on past clients and word of mouth. While that may keep business running, we've yet to see an agent scale beyond 40 plus deals per year without a strong online presence. So I'm curious, how many deals have you closed so far this year?
The only issue with that is you know exactly what they're doing with number 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you already know what they're doing. You know what to compare them to, right? Meaning that the structure for number 9 doesn't work.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What I would do here is I would check, let's say it's Dallas, right? I would check average agent is making in Dallas annually. I would then check what the top agents in Dallas are making annually. I would then figure out how many closes that is. I'd say that our agents, we're looking at about X amount of closes. The average agent is making Y amount of closes. How many have you done this year?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone understand the point of what we're doing now? Yep. Now, on a side note, when you guys are just finished with what you're doing, can everybody just provide, except for Dio and Ryan, because I already have it, can you guys provide your Calendly booking link in the chat?
Mine is German.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Because I'm sending out, or for what do you need it? Because it sends out German notifications
So that we can book calls for you?
in Germany.
Yeah, believe it or not, yes. Thanks to a magical thing called translator and a Polish man that speaks German.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes. Okay. Thank you, Alex. JB, need yours as well.
Can I see mine afterwards? Because I'm not going to find it on my computer. Or the time it's going to take for it to load.
That's fine. That's fine.
Tell me when I can ask you to review the version.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it.
So, my clients, when they come to me, usually only 20% of them tend to have a marketing structure. Those that do usually generate up to 70% of their new clients for LinkedIn or Facebook. Some use platforms such as Smart Asset. The ones that are just getting started, the planners that are still new in the field, generate 8 to 11 million assets under management in their first year. Those with more experience tend to generate up to 500 million, which is roughly 7-8% increase in a year. So I'm curious, what methods are you employing and how well they're doing for you?
Very good. I'm happy with
Something like
that.
this?
I would make it, I would pull a few specific examples if you can, simply because your niche is a little bit more educated on data. Saying that differently, I would worry that your niche is a little bit more familiar with the utilization of random facts of data. So then I would just pull a few examples of experience that you've had. Yeah.
So just personalize these instead of average to just say, for example,
I
this one guy that was just getting started with me ended up
Yes.
generating 9.7 million in
Yes,
his
yes.
first year because we provided him with structure.
Yes. And then in the second year, we saw an increase of assets under management to blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so
Right.
then I don't use the low end, high end, but use the low end, but the one like just show his progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the more examples, or the more applicable you make the examples, the better.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Boom, boom, boom. So I've got all of that for you guys there. Wonderful. Okay. Now, just as we finish everything up, does anybody have any questions for me?
Nope.
Could I get your Calendly link, the one that you sent me in the past that you've deleted since?
Honestly, I love the fact that, I've actually been taking people's calendars so that people can't just book into my time, assuming that I'm always free. If you want, how long is it going to take? How long is the chat?
I don't think it'll be more than 5 minutes.
Okay,
honestly.
cool. So look, I'll kick everybody out now. Guys, please work on this. Next Monday, we're going to be going over this again. So I need this like done and fucking dusted by the coming Monday. So work on this in your free time. It's going to make a massive difference to your close rate. Yeah? Okay. Wonderful. Hakuna Matata. Are you guys booked in for your next session? Yeah. Alex, you booked in?
I'm booked at 11
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
with wait, is it gonna be you or Ernest?
I think Ernest.
Okay. Well, I'll book more for this week anyways.